let's get set up here, people. I want to get set up. Give me a moment. That's it, people. So let's do this. Stay with me. Let's cut to the chase here, people. There's only 3 left. Okay, for November. It's going to be one of you guys. Pisces, Virgo, Cancer. So, Laura, if you got to go, I understand. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Linda, whatever. You know, it's just... whoever's here is here. You can just treat it as tarotainment. Okay, here we go. It's going to be one of you. And like I said, Laura, we already just did Taurus about a couple of hours ago. This is it. This is who we're going to be reading tonight on this show. All right. So there's no funny business like sometimes, you know, where I drift off the camera. It's okay. We're still here. What? You're setting up your new jam room? Like drums? Like real drums? Like a drum kit? What? Seriously, you're out of control. Hold on, I'm trying to open this up. Give me a second here. What does it say? Aha! We have it, folks. We have it. So tonight's reading here right now, for the November reports 2019, it is for Cancer. Thank you very much. So this post-it note has lived its life, okay? The life cycle of a post-it note. It's gone, okay? And that's it. That's the end of it. That's the 12th house energy for that post-it note. It's gone forever. And these two will be coming up next. Right now, we're putting Cancer front and center over here. And tomorrow, on the next day, we're going to do Pisces and Virgo. Thank you very much. Sorry you had to wait so long, Pisces and Virgo, for your reports. But you will get them in time for November. All right, let's do it. Greetings. I want to say hello. Hello, hello, hello. 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 Ah, there you are. Greetings. This is, sorry, everything just frozen up here. It's my graphics card. It's not powerful enough for this channel. Okay. So if there's any mega billionaires out there and you want to put a huge donation in, it would really, really help right now. I need a $3,000 laptop. It's called an MSI i9 octa-core. That's where we have to go to do this stuff properly, and it costs a lot of money. Anyway, And then we won't have these weird glitches and freeze-ups and everything. Okay, so there we go. All right, so we're going to read for Cancer. Thank you very much. Hello, Emma Jones. Oh my gosh. It's very, what do you, wait a minute. Emma, you're in England. It must be like 4 o'clock in the morning. No, Emma, this is a report. You could throw in $1 million. I'll take it. But I'm doing the report for Cancer, November 2019. Okay, so we'll sort that out on Sunday night. Okay, Emma? No worries. All right, now let's get back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just start with the simple astrodoodles like we do. And this will be for Cancer. It's 2:30 a.m. Emma, go back to bed. Go back to bed. You can watch this tomorrow or next week or something. All right, for all the Cancerians, this is the same information for everybody on the planet, okay? And then we're going to look at for the Cancerians in a little bit, just when we finish this. All right, so at the very tippy beginning of November, we have a huge Scorpio stellium effect from the very end of October. So I'm calling it November 1st is a huge wall of new moon vibes for Scorpio energy for the Cancerians. So that, in theory, technically, with Western astrology, that could be quite comfortable for you. 2 weeks later, November 12th, we have the full moon in Taurus, okay? So again, this is harmonious energy for you, and you're going to see it on your chart in a moment. Next, moving on to later on in the month, oh, by the way, we have Mercury retrograde in Scorpio for the first 3 weeks. So if you're stressed about those things, fine. I don't particularly care. You just deal with it, okay? Some people panic, they freak out. I don't know why. I think Mercury retrograde is an amazing chance to do what has to be done, okay? Anyway, moving on towards the end of the month. Don't worry about all this other stuff. That's for personal readings. Over here, towards the end of the month, the Sun moves into Sagittarius on the 22nd, okay? And later again, a few more days, the Sun moves into Sagittarius with the Moon for a new moon in Sagittarius, okay? I'll show that to you in a minute. The interesting thing from my perspective as your reader tonight, right now, is this huge Capricorn stellium. It's been building up, okay? At the very beginning of the month, we had the moon in Capricorn right here. At the very end of the month, we have the moon in Capricorn here. And all through the middle of the month, we have this stellium of Capricorn energy building up. So if you can imagine, let's just imagine, it's not exact, but Jupiter is nudging into Capricorn so tight right now that you might as well almost call it a stellium, like Moon, Pluto, Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter all piled up. Wow. That's why I put wow here, okay? Okay, I'm going to dig out your own personal chart now, dear Cancers. It looks sort of like this. One more, hold on. This is for you, dear Cancer. Now, don't be scared. It's just a Tarot Lumination Astrodoodle. You can see that I've actually put quite a lot of green on here for you. This color is green, by the way. This is green, by the way. And, yes, we have this awkward thing here, which is a lot of red. But it's not like it's anything new, Cancer. You've been dealing with this stuff for years. And it's gonna increase in pressure for January 2020, when it's maximum pressure. All right, so anyway, let's go to the very beginning of the month. Okay, so I put you over here on the horizon, Cancer, so this is like your chart, as though it was a Cancer Sun chart, okay? We have the new moon vibes over here from the end of October, early in the first week or two of November in Scorpio. So this is really nice, very rich, yummy, harmonious energy for you. Greetings, Nikki. I see you. Thank you very, very much. It's great to have your company here. Really super, super fun. So we're reading for Cancer at this report, okay? So, dear Cancer, this is like new starts and new beginnings for you in this part of your life, the 5th house. Creative self-expression. Your opportunity to really be kind of front and center on the stages of life, as though you were like a Leo. Like it was like the lights are on you and you get your chance to shine and perform like being a Shakespearean actor at the peak of your career. And everybody thinks you're amazing. That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here, okay? So whether it's art, music, writing, business, risk-taking, true love, romance, having fun, what do they call it? Creative visualization. This is a really, really good vibe for you. New starts and new beginnings here. You might be starting to do creative visualization for months to come, okay? Next, over here, 2 weeks later, okay, let's say the month starts here officially. And, hey, Lynn, yeah, oh, I see you. Hey, Path. Oh, I see you. Hey, Path. So, Path, we're reading for Cancer. So, let's say you start the month off with a bang, a really sweet, sweet vibe for you. 2 weeks later, it's still sweet because that Taurus Cancer energy is very harmonious, okay? So we've got the Taurus full moon over here. My feeling is that what's going to happen is by the middle of the month, you're going to start to get a glimpse of how amazing you are, about what you do and what you bring to this earth in terms of your creative self-expression. Whatever it is that you do, Cancer, and I'm not even worried about or concerned about, like, you know, because of your caring nature and all that. That's wonderful. We're talking about anything, any form of creative self-expression here where you are recognized and appreciated and adored for what this means to humanity. Okay, this is almost like your gift to humanity is what you are doing with your creative, let's say, visioning, your impulses right now. And of course, by definition, they're going to be very caring and nutritious for the planet. So this is really good news. Now, it might come to you in surprising ways because you don't necessarily know what this means right now, but, you know, recognition and appreciation for taking the risks that you take, doing the things that you do, will be acknowledged at this point in the middle of the month. And it might come as a shock, as a surprise. Like, wow, am I seriously that cool? Is that really? Seriously? Does everybody really love me that much? And it's not even an ego trip. It's just like observing your participation in humanity. Wow. Okay, so let's allow for that. Now move on later in the month. We have the Sagittarius Sun starting, and we have the Sagittarius new moon towards the very end over here. This is in a part of your life where you have a chance to restart, new starts and new beginnings in how to improve your day-to-day habits, especially regarding health. Things like diet, exercise, sleep, self-medicating with things like, you know, how people in America, for example, are experts at self-medicating with, you know, their caffeine, their sodas, their Valiums, their prescriptions, their workaholism, their digital online holisms, all of those things, and they figure out like a sort of harmonious balance. My feeling here for you, Cancer, is it's new starts and new beginnings to get rid of anything that is bogus, any kind of fake healthy habits are not allowed. In other words, you might deep down know that it's unacceptable to have like 3 hours of sleep at night. Or you know that it's unacceptable to have an all-meat diet. You know that it's unacceptable to be a workaholic. So what are you going to do about that? You do things that are smarter, wiser, more effective in your habits, okay? And like you can't fake it, okay? There's no faking allowed. You have to do it. It looks to me, the way I see this is like it's really important that you have to be really true and just and honest with yourself about your health regimen, okay? Whatever that might be. If you're faking it in some ways, it's not allowed anymore. You have to live in the truth, okay? Next, here's the thing, okay? The reality is, Cancer, this has been going on for ages and it's going to continue for a while. But it just so happens that with this month, with November, there's just a huge cluster, a huge stellium of Capricorn energy opposing you from over here, your 7th house of significant one-on-one relationships, okay? And so Cancer, if you are feeling as though there's a lot of pressure coming at you from people, significant characters in your life, like a handful, a cluster of very, very significant characters in your life, they are going to play more and more and more of a significant role in your life. Instead of like background actors in a movie who are just like props, they are becoming more and more significant, like they are pivotal characters in your life. It's almost like having a cast of characters that are here for you in this world to help you evolve and grow. And so you can look out at the stage of your life like a movie and realize, okay, there's you, Cancer, over here, and then there's a cluster of amazing people over there who represent all sorts of other mirror images to you, like the worst of yourself, the best of yourself, the opportunity for this, your spirituality, your common sense, your reliability, your whatever aspect of relationship you can imagine. My feeling is that you're going to have somebody who is like right there for you. It might not be comfortable, but that's where you're going to learn a tremendous amount this month, okay? So let's just leave this for now, okay? If you have any questions, of course, check in later through the comments or contact through the website and things like that, personal readings and so on. So to recap, this is very sweet for you. You're one of the lucky ones this month, Cancer. You've got this sweet harmonious energy here. And even with this heavy, heavy opposition, it's actually good for you, okay? Let's move on. We're going to start with a little miniature relationship spread for you. Just like we did with the other reports, I'm going to use a miniature Tarot Lumination crucible spread, okay? I like to see you guys. I'm happy you guys are out there. We just did Taurus earlier, a couple of hours ago. So it's online. It's probably still processing right now. But tonight or tomorrow, it should be completely ready to view. Okay. So with the crucible spread, I have to explain to everybody in case you haven't been here before. It's a crucible is a structure that's designed to withstand intense alchemical reactions that happen in a laboratory, which is very similar to what happens in human relationships. A crucible is a bowl, typically like very, very thick, heavy, high refractory ceramic. So I'll show you in a moment. Well, actually, let me just pull this spread and you'll see. So let's bless this deck, bless every single card. Bless you, dear Cancerians, the channel, Tarot Lumination, the cameras, the internet, the electricity, and the immense privilege that we have to be able to do any of this at all. We're very, very lucky people. Okay, cards are well shuffled. They were already well shuffled in advance, but I like to have a pristine deck. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Okay, so imagine yourself like a smartphone, Cancer, like a transceiver, transmitting and receiving energy all the time. What does that look like over here? And a significant other or certain significant others over here, what are they transceiving? And over here, remember with the crucible, it's on the understanding that there's you, a significant other, and a third entity, the relationship itself. Okay? It literally, in astrology, is a living, breathing thing, and I can show you one day. All right, let's have a look. This would be at the core of the relationship itself. And you can also look at this like a potted plant, like a big bowl, and things are growing in here. So what is the nature of the bowl? Is it cracked? Is it solid? Is it porous, like a beautiful terracotta pot or something? And what is the nature of what's growing here? And remember, all of this is surrounded by energy, like water. If you think of it as a plant, are you getting, what are the conditions like around you in terms of water, weather, humidity, temperature? All of those things have an impact on the nature of you, the other, and the relationship, and the outcomes, the growth of the relationship. I like to think of the weather as the planets, personally. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here. This is really luscious, beautiful, supportive energy, but in a very grounded, common sense kind of way. My feeling is that, like, the elements are on your side. Earth, air, fire, and water. All the elements are on your side in such a way as if you could look around your world right now, dear Cancer, and you're realizing the more and more and more I walk away from anything and everything that does not work, that's awesome for me. The more and more I walk towards everything that does work, that's awesome for me. And what's awesome for me is the best for my loved ones, it's best for my relationship, it's best for the planet. So I'm just going to keep doing that. And I think the planets want to let you know that is exactly how they want you to be. And it doesn't mean you're being selfish or exploitive or greedy or anything. You are optimizing. In other words, this is energy is the idea of making the very, very best of your talents, gifts, resources, circumstances, relationships, connections, whatever it is. And you're doing it for the long term. Not just for the benefit of you, but for the benefit of humanity. Remember, if you think of this like the energy of a very noble farmer, they don't farm just because they get turned on by being a farmer. They know that they have a vital role in supplying fundamental needs of humanity. Okay, so that's what you're doing. Okay, and you're being supported in this. In other words, to me, this looks like the energy, This is like very good fertilizer, let's put it that way, with the right amount of sun, water, time, temperature, care, and attention. Okay? There's a second message here, okay, Cancer, is that you need to be aware of everything that is said. You need to be aware of that, and you need to be aware that it is your duty and obligation to optimize yourself right now and your relationships for the benefit of you, your relationships, and the world around you. And if you don't, that's very irresponsible, okay? So there's a very heavy emphasis here to do with the Capricorn stuff from over here. No one's bullying you, but you are being pressured. Nevertheless, you are under a lot of pressure here to do things in the most noble, responsible way possible. What about you, or what are you radiating here? So with the Seven of Cups, it might feel a little bit overwhelming for you with all that huge Capricorn cluster blanket that's almost like saturating the whole month. It's almost like it's even more powerful than the sun, moon, and everything else put together. And so you might be in this situation where, pretend, okay, I'm Cancer, I see what you're saying, Tarot Illumination, but the reality, a lot of this is over my head, and I don't really know what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to do or how I'm supposed to do it, because I'm the one who's actually living through this. You, Tarot Illumination, are the reader who's talking about it, so you're kind of immune, but I am the Cancerian one, and I am the one having to deal with all these planets coming at me, okay? Think of that. Think of the Seven of Cups as this huge cluster of Capricorn energy that's piling up in full opposition to Cancer. It's actually potentially very nutritious. It's just that when we talk about the energy of opposition, sometimes it's the hardest energy to handle. And so my feeling is that deep down, you know that there's really wholesome, good things happening right now, but you've never lived through this moment before. This is historical for you, just like it is for the planet. And let's just admit it. You're struggling to some extent, okay? Trying to figure out, okay, well, thank you very much, dear Tarot Illumination, for the notes here, but frankly, it's overwhelming, and I'm almost like tripping out with actually how to deal with this, how to do with it, because you might almost feel as though you're getting swept along by energies that are so far bigger than you that you don't have any control over it. Well, guess what? That would make sense, given the sacred geometry that we have here as depicted on a Tarot Lumination Astro Doodle. Okay? Hello, Divine Mrs. Jones, I see you. Hello, Ivona, I see you. Good evening and welcome. We're doing a report here tonight for Cancer. We started a little while ago. So, this might be, as much as you have, well, okay, sorry, excuse me. Even though this is really delicious and supportive, my feeling is that this energy is actually kind of overwhelming the whole reading on top of everything else. And it makes it hard, okay? What about the other? To me, it feels like you have certain significant others in your life who are absolutely dedicated to you and to your best outcome, and they are watching over you, and they're wanting to let you know, dear Cancer, just want you to know, okay? This is very impersonal. My feeling is that there are certain significant loved ones in your life who are, like, say, they're, what do they call that? Holding the space, being the space holders for you, where they are there for you no matter what. They love you no matter what. They understand that you're going through this huge vortex of change and shift, and it's very disorienting for you, and it's very beautiful. They understand that you feel like there's a possibility that your dreams are going to come true, and everything that you've done in your creative visualization is starting to manifest for you. But you're also aware that you're terrified that it all could be just like an optical illusion, and it'll disappear, okay? But they're reminding you that no, that is not how it is. The reality is that the reality is good and solid, and you're dealing with it as best you possibly can. It's just very hard to deal with, and everything is happening exactly as it should be. In other words, karmic, to me, it's almost like karmic justice. All the good things that are coming to you are deserved, okay? You've worked for this, you've deserved this, and it's almost unemotional. It's almost like a judge. This is not a judgment card, but it's almost like the universe is serving up what you deserve and bringing everything into like karmic balance, and the good stuff that you deserve is coming to you. And it's not like everybody's saying, "Oh, wow, Cancer." They're basically saying it's almost like coming out of out of a courtroom or something, where you had a decision, a very important decision is made. Really important decisions are being made by certain other people to say that, we approve. We've got your back. We are here for you. We endorse you. We want to let you know that you are basically like doing a super job, and you're going to get what you deserve, and it is justly deserved. Even though you might not understand it right now, everything is exactly as it should be. And why is that? It's because it can't be any other way. And certain really key characters in your life are there to support you. It's almost like they're making it their business to make sure that you stay on track. And even though you might be disoriented now and again or overwhelmed, they are not. They are in a very crystal clear, let's say, perspective compared to you. And they are holding their position, okay? Just letting you know that everything's fine. Everything is fine. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job. What about the relationship itself? Okay, so with the Magician here, my feeling is that again, this keeps going back to all that. Well, this is like okay, to me with the Magician, it feels like it's relating predominantly with the Scorpio vibes at the very beginning, about like you are being granted the opportunity and the permission to really seriously come into your power like never before. Okay? But it does require refining, clarifying, and purifying your habits. Self-healing. More and more improvements in self-healing. Okay? Take care of your own business, mind your own business, and all of that. And the reason is that there are responsibilities and obligations and commitments. So in other words, this isn't just an excuse for you to go absolutely crazy with your power. The relationship dynamic is saying here that you are growing significantly in yourself through the circumstance of relationship, which is allowing you to come into your power in ways that could never occur or could ever have happened without these certain characters or people, without these certain bits of sacred geometry. So this is almost like a very sacred moment in your life, a very there's another word I had, but anyway, never mind. The idea is that in the relationship dynamics, it's like you start to realize, oh my God, I've heard that on Terra Illumination before. There are certain types of growth and healing and evolution that can only occur in the context of relationship, especially particular relationships with very specific people. And that, I think, is exactly what's happening here. And you're starting to realize it, like, wow, I am not alone on this planet. I have a reason to be here. I have great responsibility and stuff to do. I don't know exactly what it is yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I can see now very clearly that the messages that I need to receive will come to me, and I will understand more and more about what to do with my power as time goes on. And also it's a reminder here that a lot of your, let's say, evolution, strength, adaptation, and blossoming, your fruition and your upcoming abundance is directly contingent upon life-critical relationships, okay? That's what I'm sensing here. And that's a lot to handle. And again, it doesn't surprise me because you, dear Cancer, more than any other sign, are having to deal with this huge Capricorn stellium energy here more and more and more and more. In fact, the pressure here is going to increase next month and even into January 2020. So it's good that we're starting to deal with this now, okay? All right? So let's have a look over here. It's almost like all this pressure is actually a pathway to happiness, okay? So to me it looks like a combination of messages here, like refine, cleanse, clarify, and purify. Take all your natural gifts and talents with creative self-expression, having fun, just being happy. Just literally give yourself permission to have as much fun as you possibly can, to be the Cancerian that you really are. Being loving and being loved and so on. That's standard with Terra Illumination. But there's a reason for it. There's a mission and there's a purpose. And it becomes more and more evident over time, okay? Where you realize, like, wow, it's almost like it's the pressure. This is the you know how diamonds are created in nature, whereas lots of raw carbon is compressed for millions of years, and the diamond, the raw carbon turns from like this black, dusty type stuff into an actual diamond, which is, one of the hardest things on earth and very highly valued. And I think that's what's happening here. You are being like crushed and pressured and squeezed into being like a living example of what it's like to be happy in love and relationship with a significant other, and having and owning the key ingredients that really, really count. In other words, you might not be the richest person in the world. You might be someone who's taking full advantage of all your opportunities, circumstances, and, let's say, conditions around you, and you are optimizing your power to do that, and you're learning how to do it as you go along, and you're getting supported in that learning as you go along to discover that you are a living example of someone who understands love and happiness at the core level. In other words, true love in a way that manifests and can be shared with others. Not something that you can hoard, not necessarily like out of a romance novel, but something that is almost like a legacy. This is almost like the legacy of what would happen, of a life well lived, a life of decisions that might have been very, very hard year after year after year, but you did them because you knew you had to do them from the most loving perspective. And eventually, you might be a really late bloomer, Cancer, where you start to realize, I'm starting to enjoy the things that really count, you know, the love of a loved one, the love of, having love in the home, having friends and family who love me and friends and family that I love, and it's like a mutual support thing. And this would be like the envy of the planet. But this is not just, you're not, this is not happening like you're a trust fund baby or it's coming out of a silver spoon. You had to work and evolve and grow to get this energy. It's beautiful energy, Cancer, but it's happening under pressure, under a lot of pressure, but it's beautiful. Hey, Kiss JG, I see you. I'm going to tuck this aside. I don't want to read on this anymore. You can reinterpret however you want. Okay? That's your prerogative. I'm going to tuck this over here, and I wanted to say hello. Just I want to check in. Hello. Hello, Pat. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Kiss JG. Who else is there? JGF is here. Hello, JGF. Ivona, Ashley, hello Ashley, hello the Divine Mrs. Jones. Who did I miss? Who else did I miss? I'm just checking through the chat, hold on. I think I got everybody. Emma, hello Emma. No, go to bed, Emma, go to bed. Hello Linda, I said hello earlier when we got started. Laura had to go, I think. Anyway, here we go, let's move forward. Alright, thanks for being here, it really makes it so much more fun. Alright, so we're going to go to the next part of the reading. I'm going to use the Tarot Lumination Situational Spread. It's just 3 little cards, but it's like a sniper bullet, okay? It's like a diagnostics. It's almost like it's going to isolate a key issue that needs to be handled, addressed, understood for this month for you. Okay, dear Cancers? We'll figure it out, okay? Alright, here we are. Let's do this. Hey JGF. I hope you're going to start flying again soon. These cards are already well shuffled in advance. I go to the last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals, okay? But we are going to have an oracle at the very end. Okay, so this is the Tarot Lumination Situational Spread. Okay, same thing we use on Sunday Night Live Super Chats. Alright, here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. Okay? And we're going to look at the weather again. I focus on the planets, but it could be your own individual set of circumstances that could be expressed here. Let's have a look. So the King of Pentacles. My feeling, this is like to do with gratitude. And to me, it feels like there's a really big, powerful message coming to you from your invisible friends to understand that no matter how stressful this energy might be for you in terms of the oppositions, no matter how much refining and cleansing and clarifying and purifying you have to do in order to improve your physiological health and your day-to-day habits, and despite the fact that you're totally blessed with this energy over here and this energy over here, you're not allowed to let it go to your head. You have to look at your life and world and realize that, dear Cancer, in some way, shape, or form, in one aspect of your life, you are extremely wealthy. And this is wealth that is hard-earned, probably over multiple past lives. And this is wealth that is not to be squandered. This is wealth that needs to be shared with your people, your world, the kingdom, the queendom, with humanity, okay? I see that as the Taurus energy over there. Let me show you, okay? Humanity over here. Like, you are very, very valuable in some way, shape, or form to humanity over here. Got it? And the messages from the weather here is like, please be aware. Let's, like with the attitude of gratitude, just be aware of how lucky you are, and to remind yourself that you are worthy, that you are deserving, you are open to receive, and that you are ready, you are willing, you are able to receive, and that's what you have done, and you've done a good job of it. It's very hard work, it's very hard earned, and you are being reminded of this. And it's a great wealth, it's a great responsibility to have that much wealth, and it's a great responsibility to figure out what to do with that, okay? So as wonderful as it is, it's also in some ways a burden, okay? But you can handle it. If there is a kind of burden that anybody has to carry, this would be the one, okay? This would be the one that anyone would choose. It's like, think of Bill Gates. He comes and hangs out here now and again. He's very wealthy, but it's a huge burden to be a multi-billionaire. What are you going to do with all of that? You can't just spend it all on booze and drugs. You can't. So he has to do something for humanity. What's the situation? Okay, justice again over here. So, to me, the energy feels different here in this reading. To me, it feels like you are being called upon to be very, let's say, truthful in this world, and having to conduct yourself, carry yourself to extremely high standards of, let's say, behavior, of, let's say, adhering to the law in such a way that, sorry to say it, but it's almost like it's a burden. This is what comes with having so much wealth. In other words, you have to do something that is very significant, very important. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to be hugely rewarded, because you're already wealthy, you're already rewarding. So the question is, what are you going to do with that? You have to do something that, it feels to me over here, dear Cancer, where part of this is bringing harmony, balance, equanimity, justice to the world, especially to the suffering, especially to the ones who are not as fortunate as you. It doesn't mean you give away all your wealth and abundance and everything just by splurging it away. It means, like, for example, let's just say on a very extreme level, you are extremely wealthy, you have a trust fund. Are you just going to spend that money and just give it away? Or are you going to put that into a super high interest, compound interest account where it generates a huge amount of interest money, okay? And then you use that interest money to do just work, just causes, non-profits, good work, serving humanity by doing something very creative that you love to do, using your core wealth as like a lump sum equity, but you don't ever touch the lump sum. You earn the interest, and then you expend the interest and doing something with that. If you need more explanations on that, I can tell you, but you would have to write into me personally, okay? I'm just trying to explain it in a very short way. But in other words, it's almost like you're in a situation where you realize your life is not just about serving you and making yourself fat and happy. It's about participating in humanity and doing something very significant and useful for humanity because you have the wealth and the abundance and the nurturing capabilities to do that. And that's a responsibility. This is going on a very global scale, and I'm not surprised. It's because all of this is happening on a very global scale for the collective, okay? With Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn, and soon there's going to be Jupiter. It's a lot, okay? So it's almost like the burden of wealth, and then doing just causes, doing good things with your wealth and abundance. Like, how are you going to optimize your natural Cancerian caring energies for humanity? What's the problem with all of this? Okay, we've had another reading earlier on about saving the world. My feeling is that you Cancerians can be very vulnerable to soaking up all the pain and suffering of anyone and everyone else. And then it becomes your pain and suffering like a sponge. And then you have to expend huge amounts of energy in self-healing just to get yourself back to normal. And so that's actually a problem. So my feeling here is that you're going to have to find out in a very kind of extremely adult and mature and responsible kind of corporate business-like manner about what are you going to do with your energy, because you can't save everybody, okay? And so it's almost like you have to do the thing, you have to make very, very tough decisions, okay, about where you're going to allocate your talents, gifts, and resources for the best use in humanity that brings the best possible expression of Cancer, which is the caring and the healing and nature of humanity to humanity. But that's a problem because everybody needs help. 7.5 billion people on the planet need help. There's a few multi-billionaires who really kind of don't, but there are at least 2 billion people who do need health and help and healing in some way. And how are we going to do with that? Okay, well, that's something to consider. They have think tanks about this in San Francisco and Boston and New York and, Tokyo. What are we going to do with all the world's assets and abundance? And you, Cancer, as being the ultimate caregiver, it almost feels like you're being charged with having to make really tough decisions about what to do. What is the best thing for humanity? Because if you decide to do this, then certain other people will be deprived of your resources over here. If you decide to do this, then certain people will be deprived of your resources over here, okay? So it's tough. How do you deal with this? You have to be super tough, okay? This is almost like, just imagine being a doctor, okay, dear Cancer? Imagine you being a doctor and you have thousands or millions of patients who need care and healing, and you have to make decisions about where you're going to allocate the care and the healing. Some people can't be helped. Some people are simply on the way out. Some people almost like exploit the system. Some people really deserve the help. It's a very, very difficult. This is, to me, looks like it's extremely difficult, but someone's got to do it. And so you end up being someone who has to literally wear the crown, and be very, very noble and responsible in how to allocate your love. How do you allocate your care? How do you allocate your resources in a way that is best for humanity? In other words, when I would dumb this down, for example, take it down to your loved ones. In other words, there's no point in taking all the assets that you have and dividing it up into 7.5 billion people and everybody gets this. It's meaningless. So in other words, you're going to have to make tough decisions. Number one, love thyself, okay? Sovereignty of self. Be a glowing, living example of someone who truly takes care of themselves. Not indulging, but truly loves themselves. Living by example. And then making tough decisions. Are you going to focus all your care on a certain individual, like a loved one who's crippled, or a certain family member, or certain family members, or a spouse or a child? That would be an example of a really healthy, noble way to go. And then live by example. Okay, and then other people can copy by example, but someone has to do it. There are nonprofit organizations out there. They're always trying to save the world, and that's fantastic. Well, sometimes a lot of the energy gets squandered or wasted, or it's very corrupt, and people are lining their pockets, through a nonprofit, and the people who actually need the help aren't actually getting anything at all. So there's all sorts of stuff. In this situation here, you are being called upon to be the most noble and respectable and the one who has to make the really tough decisions, okay? But you can do it, okay? You can do it. This is almost like your card in a way. Being very, very noble with all the caring, loving, nurturing energy that you have at your disposal. Okay? All right. So that was almost like, it was almost like nothing to do with a personal reading at all. I saw that as very much the collective for you, Cancer. Okay, I'm going to finish off with a little oracle. Hey, okay. Okay, hey Olsen, I see you. Is it donut time for you? Okay. Okay, I've missed a lot of the chat, obviously, as you can tell. Okay, let's see what the message is. This is the deck called Return of Spirit, inspired by Love Triber. World famous Love Triber. Okay. Let's have a look here, people. I know it's very late at night for some of you, but I really appreciate you being here. Okay, let's pick this all up. Here is your card, Cancer. It says Union. Okay? Union. Sorry, I got this shuffled. I'm a little bit OCD at times. I like things to be all kind of orderly. I like my pens to line up. Okay? Hello, Elizabeth. I see you. Okay, so this is the energy of union, where it's almost like, you know, souls merging into one. So there's no distinction between one soul and another. It is literally like the energy of soul union. Let me look to the book here. This is for you, Cancer. Here is your little message to conclude your reading. It says here, hello, Sharon. Nice to see you. Thank you for visiting. Check in, make friends with everybody. You're very welcome to be here. Sounds like you're from India. Are you from India? All right, here we go. Here's your card, Union. This is for you, Cancer. The Union card represents the energy of two loving souls coming together in union or in partnership. If a current relationship is in question, then this card indicates a positive energy is involved. This card can represent the beginning of a new relationship or one that is about to start. Most often, the Union card represents intimate relationships. However, it can also point to other types of partnerships, such as business partners, very close friends, or even roommates. In any case, this Union card communicates the predestined convergence and soul connection of two individuals. Whoever the person is that is in your life right now, or whoever it is that is coming into your life, for who you are, you can reinterpret that for who you know what it is, Cancer. Okay, you know who that is. Okay, whoever that is of great significance as far as your soul lessons are concerned. This is a beautiful opportunity for personal growth and consciousness expansion of your heart center. Sometimes these relationships bring out our deeply held beliefs about the quality of love we feel we deserve. They can help to raise our consciousness and understanding so that we feel safe to allow this person to see into the deepest, most vulnerable parts of ourselves. With these types of relationships, one thing is for certain: you will grow and you will learn from them. Enjoy all the good this union has to offer. Be as open as possible to recognizing your triggers, your fears, and your old patterns of behavior. Be mindful of when you are feeling the need to hide or protect yourself, or if you begin to fear losing their love. This recognition will enable you to consciously address and heal any old issues and wounds of the past, even from other people. This is part of the soul agreement that you and this person share. You have come together to help each other to become whole, to become healed, and to open up to love in every way. Wow. Okay. All I would like to suggest on top of this is that we could read this same thing here about union, okay? Just flip it around, okay? Imagine that exact reading came for a significant other, okay? It's coming to you. In other words, you are that person for them, just as they are that person for you, okay? That's what I wanted to add here. I felt that very, very strongly. This is not a one-sided reading. It looks very much like, okay, just remember, just pretend you just heard that reading. It's very, very much about you with a highly specific significant other in a very loving capacity, okay? Just like we do on this channel. And that message was for you, Cancer. But when you read deeper into the message, you have to realize that the same message applies to the significant other as well. So it's mutual, okay? So I'm putting these deliberately like this to fill the screen as much as I can. It's a very beautiful thing, Cancer. You're very lucky, okay? I'm going to leave it at that. Hey, big dog, I see you. Yay. Oh, it's Jeanette. Oh, we've connected before. Okay. All right, anyway, everybody, that is the Cancer November 2019 reading. I hope you get something out of it. I hope it makes some kind of sense to you. I'm going to wrap it up now, start putting it all away. You guys can chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to just put on a little tune here. And I'll keep an eye on the chat, but I'm just breaking this all up. And we're going to have 2 more readings to come. And that is Pisces and Virgo. But we're going to do those on Saturday, okay? Hope you don't mind. We all have lives to live. I know you do. I know I do. So let me see. What have I got here? Okay. So it's been lovely. Thank you again, everybody.